Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has defended the country's missile attack on Israel, describing it as legal and legitimate. He emphasized that Iran and its proxies will not back down from Israel, but added the country will neither delay nor rush any attempt to confront its rival. The Supreme Leader was speaking at a sermon leading Friday prayers in Tehran for the first time in years. It was also his first public appearance since Iran launched 180 ballistic missiles at Israel earlier this week. These comments coming amid escalating cross-border clashes between Israel and Hezbollah as tensions reach new highs. On the ground, Israel is ramping up strikes on Beirut and expanding its ground operation in southern Lebanon. The IDF has issued more evacuation orders for civilians in the conflict-hit region. Nearly a dozen Israeli airstrikes rocked Beirut earlier today, with reports suggesting they were aimed at the man tipped to take the helm of Hezbollah after the militant group's leader Hassan Nasrallah was assassinated. Lebanese media earlier reported that an Israeli strike near a busy border crossing between Lebanon and Syria, the first time the El Masna crossing has been cut since last October. Footage released show two huge craters on each side of the road. People have been seen making their way across on foot as cars are now unable to pass the site of the airstrike. Hundreds of people have been using that key crossing to flee escalating violence over the past 2 weeks. Lebanese officials say all border crossings between Lebanon and Syria are under state supervision. The IDF, however, accused Hezbollah of using the Masna crossing to bring in military equipment. And more. Trent Murray joins us live from Tel Aviv. Trent, Iran's foreign minister has arrived in Beirut amid all these cross-border strikes between Israel and Hezbollah. How significant is this trip that he's making?
Well, it's significant for several reasons, because he's arriving at a time where there are continued airstrikes in Beirut. So as the foreign minister's plane was arriving at Beirut International Airport, he quite literally would have been able to see the smouldering remains of some of those buildings in the south of the city, which the IDF says they've been targeting as part of Hezbollah's stronghold. We haven't had any official readouts yet of his meeting, but we know the Iranian Foreign Ministry, it says he is there to express solidarity with the people of Lebanon. We also understand he will be holding consultations with both members of Hezbollah and also the caretaker government. But many observers in this region are suggesting that one of the other key reasons for him visiting is to speak with what remains of Hezbollah's leadership around succession plans for Hassan Nasrallah after he was killed a week ago in that airstrike. So, look, an important show of strength, I think. I mean, the Iranians are calling it solidarity, but I think it's also a show of strength that even as those airstrikes were taking place, the foreign minister decided to visit at a time where Lebanon really is in one of the worst crises it's seen in at least 2 decades.
I mean, on the Israeli side, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant saying there are, quote, surprises lined up for Lebanon, given that a great deal rests on what Israel might do next. What should we be reading into a comment like that from the Defense Minister?
Well, I think it's very strong war rhetoric, isn't it? And it certainly suggests that Israel has no intention of reducing its intensity or scale of operations inside of southern Lebanon in particular. We know additional reservists are being called up to that northern border to take part in those operations. Around 100 villages now in total over the last few days have had evacuation orders issued for them. And so civilians continue to leave that region amidst reports of very heavy firefights taking place between Hezbollah militants and IDF troops. And I think the rhetoric around more surprises is probably a blow in some ways, or a targeted message to Hezbollah that effectively they should be on their toes in the wake of things like the pager attacks and the airstrikes and the death of Nasrallah. The Israelis suggesting that type of high-intensity operation, but also the covert operations, which they've been quite successful in, are likely to continue for some time.
Thanks for that. Trent Murray reporting live from Tel Aviv.